this afternoon, including one that has to do with micro something, micro.
We're talking her.
It's micro
locks.
braids and locks. I don't even know what that means.
I believe there's another term for it, but the only one I know is micro locks, which is basically like dreadlocks, but much
Thinner.
Yes, they don't have like the girth of a bongo dread, for example. They're much thinner, absolutely. So we're going to talk about that trend. We're going to unpack that.
Yeah.
I think there's interesting new developments there. So you and I are both in a learning streak today with regards to that. But something very important, which I know you are at the forefront of.
Me.
This is your level of expertise. Okay, but really amazing as we talk about saving rhinos, and we're going to be speaking to Zimbabwean-born, South African-raised activist who is behind what is known as Saving the Wild. Jamie Joseph is going to be joining us, and we are going to be talking about taking the fight for endangered species into a new creative space, as it were. So how does conservation and matters of conservation and how they meet artistic spaces? I think that's such a beautiful conversation, and it really is one conversation if you think about
Looking forward to that one. And then Alex Fords is celebrating 90 years by giving back to the next generation with a financial literacy book for kids. I think that's very important. At some point, I'm not going to delve too much into it, but as a child, you need financial literacy and you need to be educated on how matters of money work, so that when you're an adult, you're not surprised by things like tax, not surprised by, hey, but why is this cost to company not the same as the one that gets into my bank account? How do I invest? How do I do this? Assets, liabilities. Hey, we need to learn these things from a very young age. So I think this is a brilliant initiative.
It is, absolutely. And if it's in a book, it means it is preserved for many generations to come. Thank you very much for staying with us. We are in the first hour of the Upside, 11 minutes into 1.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126.
And we will call you back.
So you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views.
Share your opinion.
Engage with a community that values your perspective.
Follow us on our social media.
Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready
To share your views.
on Channel Africa.
The African Perspective.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Tebogo and Mmatsheko on the Upside.
Uzozisola, 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 uzozisola.
Listen in on Channel Africa.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko on the upside.
Every night, I dream of what could be. If only you knew me, what lies beneath my smile. I try to search for the right way to make you look my way. So one day you'd all be mine. I'm afraid that I'm only dreaming, and I'm losing my mind. I don't know why I love you, and I don't know why I need you the way that I need you. It's just like the next heartbeat. I love you, and I don't know why. In my mind, I've made up my own way, and I won't look your way, and some things won't change with time. In my heart, the feelings are crazy, and I'm thinking maybe one day you change your mind. I'm afraid that I'm only dreaming, and I'm losing my mind. just live and let live. But these feelings seem to be so consuming, and I don't know why. I don't know why I love you, and I don't know why I need you the way that I need you. It's just like the next heartbeat. I love you, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I need you the way that I need you. It's just like the next heartbeat.
A double play to kickstart the upside this afternoon on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. We kicked you off with Uzozisola by Justin Vibes featuring Diamonds of Guijo and Azul Serene. And that last song there, I Don't Know Why, by Zimbabwean actress and singer Kudzai Sevenzo. I think that sounds right. I don't know why. I love you. If there's a reason, must there be a reason why someone loves you?
No, I think pure concentrated love is just, I love you for who you are.
I don't know.
And I love you for who you are, not I love you because there's something I can get from you. Like there's some transactional, there's nothing transactional. And I was watching a relationship expert / life coach talk about when somebody really loves you, they really don't want anything from you.
That's interesting. You see? Then she's right in saying, I don't know why I love you. 21 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's take a quick breather. When we get back, it's time for What Caught Your Eye?
África. Conhece o Ntivani?
Claro que sou eu.
Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma.
Eu amo música africana.
Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel África. Adivinha só, a Channel África quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel África está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
22 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. It's time for What Caught Your Eye? So, you may have noticed yesterday, or was it on Monday? Yesterday was Monday. You may have noticed, if you are someone who buys your food and has it delivered through the delivery apps, right? Checker 66 in South Africa, the Pick and Pay ASAP app, the Spa to Go or something like that, or to you, something like that. And then Woolies Dash, Woolworths delivery app, right? You may have noticed yesterday that in your delivery fee, there was an addition, man, that did not make sense. You've been paying 35 Rand for delivery all this time, right? And that's pretty much the standard for the delivery fees for these shopping centers or these supermarkets. Yesterday, Woolies introduced or increased it by 10 Rand. So instead of 35 Rand,
That's a lot of money.
you now pay 45 Rand for delivery if you use the Woolies Dash delivery app. It has announced that 29% increase because it was driven by rising operational costs that the retailer can no longer absorb without adjusting prices. And despite this significant increase in sales over the past year, Woolworths is facing challenges as expansion rates slow down and costs of wages and fuel and leasing are on the up. So I don't know if anyone has ever wondered why it was 35 rand in the first place, right? Because you see all the app, 35 rand, 35 rand, 35 rand. And it turns out it was because Checkers, who were pretty much who spearheaded this movement, they used 35 rand as their amount for delivery, right? It had moved around. I think it's now 36 rand or something. But 35 rand. Every other business, every other retailer followed suit and they charge 35 rand. So if you go to Pick and Pay, 35 rand. If you go to Spar, 35 rand. Wool, 35 rand. Clearly, it was not a sustainable amount for Woolworths, because over a period of time they realized that no, man, it's not really working out, operational costs and so on and so forth. So they had to increase it to 45 rand. So if you were shocked yesterday, why did it increase? It's because Woolies has decided that they need to increase it to ensure that they retain, quality, delivery, and freshness of ingredients. Here's my thing.
I knew there was something coming.
Here's my thing.
Yes.
The Woolies Dash app. The frustrations I've experienced with that app. Finding the right items when using the search bar to find, you can't find a lot of stuff for the most part. It's not. And then the delivery, you wait a whole lifetime. I would understand if someone like a Checker 6060 were like, I'm going to increase it by 10 rand, because they're quite efficient. I get my food. Sometimes I place the order. I can't even go and shower because before I know it, is outside by my door, with my delivery. I would understand if they were doing it because they're very efficient.
Right.
But Woolies, with that app of yours, as it stands right now, you must be 25 rand, not 35 rand, no, not 45 rand. What you charge? Actually, it must be free. It must be free because the app needs to be developed. The Pick and Pay ASAP app has improved drastically. I remember in its formative years, or formative days, months, it was a horrible app to navigate, and in the delivery you have to wait for hours and hours on end. And they improved over time, and they partnership with Mr. D that helped improve it as well. But the Woolies app, I'm sorry. This is my own personal experiences. I've had horrible experiences, and I don't understand why they're increasing it. In fact, they must reduce it. And now a lot of people on social media are complaining, saying, hey, no, it's fine. We're staying off your app. 45 rand. I know it's 10 rand, but it's a lot of money. First of all, you have to meet a minimum basket purchase. What? 150 rand or something. Now you're on top of that, you put the 45 rand. That's 200 rand. No one is going to do that. So for me, it's both a vent and a what caught my eye, because there's no need for this increase. So let me know if you're going to be ordering from Woolies Dash with that extra 10 rand. Anyway, what caught your eye?
You are one disgruntled customer.
It's a personal experience. It's a lived experience. I get frustrated by these things. It must be efficient. We're paying for these service delivery things. If it's not efficient, then why am I...
Can I just defend Woolworths just for 2 seconds? Well, not really defend them, but it's not really their core business, this quick delivery thing. Eh? It's not really what they do. They're more interested in, how you experience the actual store, and the graphics need to look cute, and the quality of the food and clothing. They're not really interested in whether you get the stuff in 60 seconds for 25 rand or not. Like, that's just not their core business.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm done defending them, but that's what I wanted to say.
Discam also. Discam, the app on Discam. That one also needs to... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm moving away now to too many apps. Anyway, what caught your eye?
Discam catching strays. No, I decided I'm going to be very random today and Google, or rather ask ChatGPT, what is the most expensive house in Africa? I think following our conversation with our wonderful expert yesterday looking at property trends, I started to think, what actually is that conversation, and the house that was purchased by international DJ Black Coffee. I started to think about what actually is the most important or most expensive house in Africa. So I asked ChatGPT, what is the most expensive house in Africa? And I see ChatGPT says Folorunshore Alakija Mansion is likely the most expensive house in Africa. So I asked ChatGPT to dig a little bit further for me and give me information about what makes this house so special. This mansion is located in an exclusive Ikoyi area in Lagos in Nigeria. It is owned by Folorunsho Alakija, who is a prominent Nigerian businesswoman and philanthropist. Yes, you heard business woman is the person who owns this. Do you want to guess the valuation of the property?
I'm going to say $300 million.
I like how you think. It's a little bit more expensive than that. But the fact that you said dollars
Yes.
tells me something. The property is valued at approximately $700 million or 267 billion naira, according to multiple sources, which makes it widely cited as the most expensive house on the African continent. Features claimed to be what makes this property so expensive: 400 rooms, bulletproof design, so windows replaced by light wells, okay? And other important things to note, the figure is $700 million, as we've mentioned. I don't know if this has been publicly verified, I'm not sure, and ChatGPT is not sure either. Market value can vary at this time, but as I understand it, it was built by German builders. Ultra luxury African German builders or something to that effect. So, but I thought, okay, well, we've got that expensive house. Are there other expensive houses? Perhaps because it's 131, we can get to those later. But isn't it fascinating? 700 million. That's what, 12.5 billion South African rand.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Who live 31 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports with Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you so much, Tebogo. Very good afternoon once again from the sports desk. So Nigeria, as well as Werder Bremen striker Victor Boniface, insist his main goal is to help Bremen win games, and not just scoring as an individual. Now, Boniface joined Bremen in September on the off-season loan from Bayer Leverkusen. Boniface says he now understands that football has its ups and downs, and he knows that if he does well with the team, he will eventually find himself scoring more goals for the side.
Yeah, football is like life, sometimes you have this good moment, sometimes you have the bad moment, but the most important thing for me is how to find the right way, it's not just about me scoring, also it's about the result of the team in general. I can be scoring and we are losing. I don't want that, so I want the situation when we are able to win games, and when we start winning games, then the goals will come.
Now, Boniface suffered ACL injuries in the 2028-2029 season and again in the 2020-2021 season. His injuries unfortunately caused him to miss about 14 games last season with Leverkusen, and the Nigerian now hopes he can remain injury-free for his German side.
For me personally, to try to play the whole season without injury, and when I signed here, I made it clear to the media and said before that as a football player, I don't have an aim like, I want to do this, I just go and how it goes. The most important thing for me, myself, is to try to help the team in any way, score goals, assist, and play free, injury-free season. And for the team, we try to achieve something good also, so we see how it goes.
Right, I will stay with football news. So teams competing in next month's Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco finals are wasting no time in the November international window to continue preparations for the tournament in Morocco. Now, the only competitive action in Africa across the November international window comes in the World Cup playoffs in Morocco, featuring Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Gabon, as well as Nigeria. But with the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations finals in Morocco now just 1 month away, there are a number of friendly matches for the other finalists who are not involved in the World Cup playoffs. Algeria being one of those teams. They have about 2 matches in Saudi Arabia against Zimbabwe in Jeddah on the 13th of November, and then they will face the host side also at the Prince Abdullah Al Faisal Sports Stadium on the 18th of November. Meanwhile, Angola will celebrate 50 years of independence with a match against host Argentina in Luanda on the 14th of November, in which Lionel Messi will also be part of that match. The Comoros Islands, meanwhile, will host Namibia in 2 matches in Moroni on the 14th and the 17th of November, respectively. At the same time, Cote d'Ivoire, the reigning African champions, will take on Saudi Arabia on the 14th of November. Morocco, meanwhile, the Cup of Nations hosts, are playing 2 international friendly matches at home against Mozambique on the 14th of November, and then Uganda at the same venue, that is Tangier, 4 days later. Senegal at the same time will play Brazil on the 15th of November at the Emirates Stadium in London. They will then go to Antalya in Turkey 3 days later, where they meet off with Kenya's Harambee Stars. South Africa, meanwhile, will host Zambia this coming weekend at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium out in the Eastern Cape province, while Tunisia, the North Africans, are squeezing in 3 friendly matches in a very crowded schedule against Mauritania on the 12th of November, Jordan 2 days later before they fly to France to meet off with Brazil on the 18th of November in Lille. And finally, in tennis news, Italy's Jannik Sinner got his title defense off to a solid start with a dominant straight sets victory over the ailing Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime at the ATP finals on Monday in Turin. 9 days after their duel in the final at the Paris Masters, Sinner was once again the strongest, winning 7-5 and 6-1, but the fellow Italian Lorenzo Musetti was earlier outclassed 6-3 and 6-4 by American Taylor Fritz. After the third set, it was Sinner who swept aside Auger-Aliassime, who had been hampered by a left calf injury, by breaking serve to rush to a 3-love lead. He broke him a second time to close out the match with an ace after 1 hour and 41 minutes on court. Well, that is a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosito Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki wao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanapenda kuhubiria muziki ya zamani na muziki ya wengine ambao ni hivyo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudia mara mbili studio, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aizani, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuja kuona kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
37 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. It's time for us to get the latest in business news. Chanduko Likeke is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. The latest data released by Statistics South Africa shows that the country's official unemployment rate eased by 1.3% from 33.2% recorded in the second quarter to 31.9% in the third quarter of 2025. The quarterly labor force survey shows that there was a 248,000 increase in the number of employed persons to 17.1 million, while the number of unemployed persons decreased by 360,000 to 8 million. In other news, an informal trader in Polokwane in South Africa's Limpopo province says he has stopped paying attention to the budget speech as it does not improve informal business. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana will table his medium-term budget policy statement tomorrow. An informal trader near Polokwane Hospital believes that the budget overlooks the plight of hawkers.
At this present moment, I don't really believe that the government is spending money wisely because our stalls, we are having some stalls here and then we are paying the municipality rent, their rates every month, but they are doing nothing. The only thing they do is just to receive the cash from us. I mean, we don't have toilets. I mean, we have nothing here. And we are saving the people. At the hospital, we have almost maybe more than 25 years selling in front of this hospital, Pietersburg Hospital. But there is no improvement of services from the municipality.
South Africa's Cape Town International Airport has reached a major milestone in welcoming its 1 millionth passenger last month ahead of the peak season. AXA says the achievement, usually seen only during the busy December period, signals an early and strong start to the peak travel season. AXA Group spokesperson Ufenze Dijwe says the focus remains on delivering efficient, safe and welcoming airport services.
The terminal is alive with travelers and there's a real sense of excitement as we see more people taking to the skies earlier than usual this year. We're grateful to our airport partners, airlines, and ground teams for their dedication, and to our passengers for their patience and support as we manage record numbers within our current facilities. We look forward to welcoming every traveler passing through Cape Town International Airport this season, and thank you for being part of this remarkable milestone.
Australia's corporate regulator says it has sued AVZ Minerals and two of its directors, alleging the miner failed to disclose an escalating legal dispute with the Democratic Republic of Congo over its stake in the lithium project. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission accused the Perth-based company of breaching disclosure obligations and engaging in misleading and deceptive conduct by withholding information about the dispute. AVZ holds a 75% stake in the Manono lithium project through its subsidiary Dathcom Mining. It has been embroiled in a legal dispute with the DRC government since 2022 over ownership rights to the project, which comprises the world's largest deposits of hard rock lithium. And Tesla board chair Robin Delholm thanked the electric vehicle maker's shareholders for approving CEO Elon Musk's $878 billion pay package. The approval marks one of the largest compensation votes in corporate history and underscores investor willingness to bet on Musk's leadership as Tesla pursues its next phase of growth. Last week, with 1.94 billion votes, the proposal cleared with over 75% support, reinforcing Musk's strategy to transition Tesla into an AI and robotics company. Shareholders backed the long-term plan despite opposition from proxy firms. Now let's shift our focus to financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira, 435 Botswana, 13 pula 26. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 35. Zambia 22 kwacha 61. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 32. In Russia 80 rubles 86. India 88 rupees 68. China 71.12. South Africa 17 rand 20 cents. $1 is 76 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Commodities, gold is $4,140, platinum at $1,590 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $64.35 a barrel. That's all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
43 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. This is indeed The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, where you can check out our lovely studio and see our next guest. And don't forget to download our brand new Channel Africa app on your Android or your iOS device. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you for choosing us this afternoon. Let's talk all things micro locks. Very new to me. I think I've seen them. I just didn't know, that's what they are called. But let's find out more by someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
There I am. I'm alive. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're looking at hair trends that are, changing every now and again. And of
Yeah.
course, the installation of external hair attachments is quite a big thing. All right. So we are looking at micro locks that seemingly are standing out as one of the most sought after styles. Micro locks refers to tiny pencil sized locks as they've been described. And they are created by trained what do they call them? Okay, we need to get the correct term and how to pronounce it correctly. But people that are actually, you have to be trained and certified to be able to do micro locks, as I understand it.
Okay.
So a lot of people are hopping on this trend, and I've seen women hop on this trend because they obviously really like and admire this natural look. The fact that they are low maintenance is another great selling point, and the ability to promote healthy hair growth is another one, because listen, women want to have beautiful, shiny, natural, gorgeous, amazing hair, because we're all on Instagram, we want to look cute, right? So unlike other trends like sister locks, I think micro locks are different, but listen, we're not the experts, okay? So we've gotten one on the show so that they can explain what's happening in South Africa. Glow Up by Didi Salon has been at the forefront of this micro locks movement as we see it. They've introduced micro locks as a full service. So the studio has built the largest micro locks community in Southern Africa. Yes, they have. And this means that they are connecting clients to trained professionals that are going to offer them some guidance throughout their hair journey. Let's speak to Dikhabiso Pamodze Monare, who is founder of Glow Up by Didi Salon, so we can, understand what's happening, and maybe we can help on this bandwagon and look cool like everybody else. Dikhabiso, thank you very much for joining us on Channel Africa. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I think perhaps because I mean, you probably heard me stumble on my words there. I don't know what the difference between sister locks is and micro locks. Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a difference. Micro locks, because we have micro locks with your natural hair, we also have micro locks as extensions. So the difference between micro locks and sister locks is in the formation of the locks. The method that is used as well is different. So that's the difference between the two. The method used and also the thinness of them.
And Dikhabi, so let's talk about why it's becoming such a growing trend, not just in South Africa, but globally as well. Why are they so popular?
I think they're popular because they are more of natural look than any other. So I think now we are trying to get back to our roots, if if I may say, because with micro locks, it helps us to have healthy hair. It also helps us to like wake up in the morning and just brush your hair and go to work. It's easy to style as well, and the volume that it gives, it looks very gorgeous.
We love a gorgeous hairstyle any day. But for me, you know what I'm really enjoying about, sort of looking at people's hair journeys, particularly on platforms like Instagram, is the conversation is changing around black hair. And when we think about hairstyles like micro locks, dreadlocks, sister locks, whatever it is, it's almost challenging that stigma and misconceptions around what is beautiful or what is professional. I remember that big debate around professional and non-professional hair. So what have you seen, Dikhabiso, in terms of how it's shaping that conversation with women coming into your salon and requesting micro locks? I would imagine that these are obviously upwardly mobile African women who are professionals, who are high ranking in their fields. So how does that shape the conversation, do you think?
It has brought so much confidence and in the acceptance of us having our natural hair and having to embrace that look of natural hair that we have. So people, when they come to the salon looking for the micro locks, the style, you find that it's people that are tired of using chemicals on their hair, because now with chemicals, it just destroys your hair. The folic, the roots of your hair, they become thinner when they are manipulated by the relaxers and the chemicals that we have. So it's a very versatile style to have micro locks where you are able to do anything and everything with your hair, with your natural hair. And it's so satisfying when you see the journey, like when you install them and then you be patient, they grow, you see how long your hair can grow. So yeah.
We're discussing why more Africans are choosing micro locks for healthier, low maintenance hair. And we'll continue our conversation right after this. It's 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. We continue our conversation about all things micro locks. These tiny, elegant locks are redefining self-expression and confidence across Africa and globally, actually, offering a low-maintenance yet powerful way to embrace natural texture. And we'll continue our conversation with the founder of Glow Up by DD Salon, Dikgabiso Phamotse Monare. Dikgabiso, let's talk about maintenance. How long can one keep micro locks on for? I mean, I'm a guy, I don't know how long they're supposed to last. So I'm asking for the ladies out there and also for the boyfriends who are like, yeah, baby man, you must go get micro locks. How long does it last, and what are the maintenance and routines required to keep it looking good?
With micro locks, they can be a lifelong term style. So, like I said, we can install micro locks with your natural hair, and we also have micro locks extensions, which also takes years and years for you to grow your actual, maybe natural hair with locks, and then later on take the extensions out, or just go with your natural hair, whereby we'll be doing those micro locks, and then they can grow as long as they possibly can. So it's really up to your hair type and how you take care of the locks, because it's low maintenance, yes, but in that low maintenance, you have to make sure that you do a retie every 6 to 8 weeks. Doing a retie helps in the positioning of your locks on your head. It maintains the grit that we have on the locks, and also it helps the nutrients to be in your hair, to stay in your hair longer, because you have to moisturize it from time to time. I always say once a week at least your scalp should get oil, and then with your micro locks, you just spray a mist over them like 2 times a week so that they are always hydrated. And I think one other thing is that people with micro locks, they need to make sure that when they sleep, they put something on their head, like a satin material thing to cover that so that they are not gonna get lint. And also the usage of the products should be very low so that there are no buildup of products in your locks. That is how we maintain the micro locks.
Okay, it sounds fascinating. I guess for those that are perhaps considering, getting micro locks, let's talk about time frames for installation. If it's somebody like me who doesn't want to sit in the chair for longer than an hour, doesn't sound like this could be your hairstyle. But yeah, talk to us about time frames and also costs. If I'm using my own hair compared to if you are installing with extensions, is there a price difference there?
There is a very much difference there. With your natural hair, we check how the length of the hair that you have, and then it will determine the price. For example, we work with hair that if you're not, I'm talking in terms of not doing the extensions now. So the micro locks with your own hair, it means we need like 4 inches long of hair in order for us to do the micro locks. So the shorter the hair, the cheaper it becomes. And the longer the hair, the more expensive it becomes. Because, I mean, it's like 200 and something locks, or even more. Others even have 500 locks. So we are looking at about like your 4 inches, your 6 inches could run around 4,000 and above, depending on the stylist that you chose. And with the extensions, they are very expensive. The extensions are very expensive compared to the natural hair that you might want to use. So with extensions, it takes hours and hours, even days, for you to install them. So we are looking at about 8 inches. That's from 8,000, depending on the number of locks that you are going to be installing, which we will not know until we actually do the work, because we have different thicknesses of hair, which will determine the number of locks that you will be installing. And if your hair is long and you want extensions, it means that we are starting with your hair. We're doing the micro locks first with your hair, meaning it's an amount on its own on that the length of your hair. And then when we attach the extension, it means now we are installing that extension. It is another money, and also the price of the extensions. So they can be very pricey, while when you are maintaining, it's not that much of money that you'll be maintaining with.
Let's get to know Glow Up by Didi a bit better. You specialize in micro locks, but you also have a network of locticians. Tell us a bit more about that.
We specialize with locks in as broad as it is.
Okay.
So we do traditional locks, we do micro locks, we do even the temporary ones we do, because we both have temporary locks and the permanent locks. So, and also in the salon, we're not just doing locks as it is, because it's a whole salon. We also cater for other styles and other types of hair. So, but on my side, we do the locks. So with traditional locks, they're a little bit thicker and compared to the micro locks, and also you can dye them, you can bleach them without damage, while when we bleach our hair, it tends to flake and it doesn't give good results in the long run.
This has been really fascinating. I think, look, if you've got some money to spare and you want to experiment with good hair, then Glow Up by Didi Salon is definitely the place to be if you are in South Africa. Dikabi, so thank you so much for the time and for a little masterclass on microlocks. Much appreciated and all the best. Eh?
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you. So on the other side of 2 p.m., the 2 p.m. news bulletin coming through, we are going to be speaking about Fight to Save Wildlife. We're going to be catching up with Jamie Joseph in their capacity as a Zimbabwean-born, South African-raised activist who is behind an initiative known as Saving the Wild. Excited already? I know I definitely am. So stick around. That's coming through after 2 on Elinsensi standing by with the news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mmatsheko. Looking at your top stories, Angola marks the 50th anniversary of its independence, and Turkey and Egypt's foreign ministers to discuss the Gaza ceasefire. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Today, Angola marks the 50th anniversary of its independence from Portugal, commemorating half a century since the country declared freedom on the 11th of November 1975. This after a 13-year war for liberation. While the anniversary celebrations have been ongoing throughout the year, many Angolans approach the date with mixed emotions. The country has made strides in rebuilding infrastructure in urban areas, yet deep social and economic inequalities persist. Millions still live in poverty and unemployment.
The economy remains heavily dependent on oil revenues. So these are the main issues that Angolan economy that most of time the Angolan people see and feel that in spite of 50 years old, we still have some trouble, some issues to sort out. As Angolan entering 6 decades, the challenge is clear to turn the natural wealth into human capital, strengthen institutions, and create an economic so diversificate. This is the issue, this is the main challenge that day by day the Angolan people fight to have.
The president of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, still has to announce her cabinet this after the Electoral Commission in that country declared her as winner of the presidential election. However, the opposition that called for boycott of elections has indicated that it will not recognize Samia Suluhu Hassan. Sophie Mugwena reports.
Members of parliament in Tanzania still have to be sworn in before they can take their seats. This landslide's victory, however, has drawn reaction as elections were marred by protests. The swearing in of MPs this week will pave way for the president to elect a cabinet. There has been silence from the presidency on the current tension in that country. However, it is expected that the new cabinet will embark on a charm offensive to try and bring calm and stability in that country.
South Africa's National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batohi, has acknowledged that cases related to state capture have not been prosecuted sufficiently. Batohi has been testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee that's investigating allegations of corruption, criminality and political interference in the justice system. Batohi says there is a lot of good work the National Prosecuting Authority has done, but some matters in state capture are still lacking.
Generally, the prosecuting authority is doing exceptionally well, but I can accept that there are areas where I had certainly hoped that at this time in my career we would have gone further than where we are, particularly investigating and prosecuting state capture matters and some other forms of high-profile corruption. And there are various reasons for that. I shouldn't say for prosecuting them, perhaps to have, because many cases are in court, but getting through a court system to finality is something else, and I can talk more about that later if I'm asked.
The two suspects accused of murdering South African rapper Keenan aka Forbes and his friend Tebogo Tips Motsoane have been moved to a heavily armed convoy from Durban's King Shaka International Airport to the Durban Central Police Station in the KwaZulu-Natal province. The siblings Siyabonga and Malusi Ndimande were extradited earlier today from Eswatini. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate has described the Ndimande brothers as dangerous contract killers. It is expected that they will appear in the Durban Magistrate Court later in the day. The foreign ministers of Turkey and Egypt will tomorrow discuss the Gaza ceasefire and international efforts to rebuild the enclave once the war is over during talks in Ankara. NATO member Turkey has been one of the most vocal critics of Israel's 2-year assault on Gaza, calling it a genocide which Israel has denied. Along with Egypt and Qatar, Turkey has helped mediate the fragile ceasefire, emerging as a crucial player and vowing to monitor the strict implementation of the accord. Israel has, however, voiced its opposition to Turkish involvement, saying there would not be forces from Turkey present in Gaza tomorrow. Now recapping on your top stories, Angola marks the 50th anniversary of its independence from Portugal today, commemorating half a century since the country declared freedom on the 11th of November 1975. This after a 13-year war for liberation. Now, for any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective. The afternoon conversations continue on The Upside. Lifestyle, culture, and global changes. Right here on Channel Africa, The African Perspective.
Seven minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African Perspective, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for choosing Channel Africa this afternoon. Download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can stream us live, check out our lineup, learn more about the presenters, get to know us a bit better, and check out the amazing work that we are doing as Channel Africa behind the scenes. And you can stream us live, check out our studio, see our lovely guests that we have on the show, all our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. All right, we're talking all things conservation, meeting the art world. That's quite an interesting blend.
I think it's so beautiful to see this triad of art, conservation, and activism come together, thanks to Jamie Joseph. Jamie Joseph, if you've never heard the name before, is a Zimbabwean-born, South African raised, and I keep saying that because she is a proudly Southern African activist, and she is behind the initiative Saving the Wild. So it looks like Saving the Wild is taking on things very differently, because after many years of really being immersed in work that's about saving the rhinos, she has decided that she's going to be a little bit more ambitious with a global project that brings together the arts, conservation, and activism, and she's going to tell us all about it.
All right, I'm looking forward to that conversation. It's 9 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Don't go anywhere. We talk all things conservation, meeting the art world.
Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
They call me. Are you gone? Are you gone? Are you gone? Are you gone? Are you? Are you gone? Are you? The person tell me say I go fall for a woman like you. I go say in papa, mama, brother, sister, thunder, fire, all of them. Because this kind thing where you the do. I been no say you go fit move me. She not only me but you like overdo. She sweet you as you told me to move. That like the woman that I like. I feel no make everything alright. But if there's anything I can do, I saw be do one with my mind. Oh, let me draw, don't be shy. You know you sweet my antenna. You must meet my antenna, my antenna, my antenna. Now you gon' let me be your one and only. Baby, baby, oh baby. Now you gon' let me be your one and only. Baby, baby, ooh baby. Couple goes not small. When we start our love, Rihanna go say she want her like this, oh. Couple goes not small. When we start our love, Beyonce go say she want her like this, oh. Hey, I just want to know if there be any chance for me and you. I just want to know, no, if there be any chance for me and you. Are you gon' let me be your one and only? Baby, baby, oh baby. Are you gon' let me be your one and only? One and only, baby. I like the woman that I like. I feel no make everything alright. But if there's anything I can do, I saw me do one with my mind. Oh, let me draw, don't be shy. You know you sweet my antenna. You must meet my antenna, my antenna, my antenna. Are you gon' let me be your one and only? Baby, baby, oh baby. Are you gon'
Gone by Techno. What a song. What a song. I saw you bobbing your head there as soon as that drop beat. Oh, that beat dropped.
You know what it actually reminds me of? And I know this is such an awkward archive. It reminds me of the song by South African Kwaito band from back in the day called TKZ. Kabelo Mabalane, the late Tokolo, and Zwaibala. They called themselves TKZ. They had a song called Shibobo. And it was basically tribute to Benny McCarthy, was just a superstar. And he was featured in the song. So when it starts, it goes, Gaddy boom 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 boom. Whenever buddy boom 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 boom. No me I don't know. So I think Nigerians are actually borrowing from quite a superstars. That's what I heard when I listened to that song, which is pretty wild.
It wouldn't be far-fetched, would it? Borrowing from one another. It wouldn't be far-fetched, would it?
No, I think it was such a great inspiration. But it sounds, it's amazing. You know, it really just shows us that we are one Africa. As long as we credit one another, but we're one Africa.
One Africa, indeed. Let's talk all things conservation and the world of art coming together. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because for nearly a decade, Jamie Joseph has been on the front lines of Africa's conservation battle, exposing corruption, confronting poachers, and protecting rhinos under fire. But now the fearless Zimbabwean-born, South African-raised activist is channeling her passion into a new kind of weapon: art. Through her global project under Saving the Wild, Jamie is transforming visual storytelling into a lifeline for endangered species. Working with world-renowned photographers and artists, she is curating a luxury art collection made from silk, linen, and silver. Pieces that don't just decorate walls but defend wildlife. And joining us to talk about the intersection of creativity, conservation, and courage is Jamie Joseph, who will be getting on the line, hopefully. Not yet. Seem to be struggling with network trying to get Jamie on the line. But interesting worlds coming together there, art and conservation. I want to know how she got into conservation in the first place, because there's something that must trigger you to want to get into that space. Not just anyone, from what I have seen, just, I want to be a conservation activist. It doesn't just happen like that. Something must have happened. Something must have triggered it. Maybe watching a documentary, maybe going into the wilderness, going on a game drive and being told the stories from the rangers, and then that sparked something in you. Right now, as it stands, would you go into conservation activism yourself?
I think that's where I'm headed, actually.
And what triggered it?
I think that's where I'm going. No, but I assume that with Jamie, it's just how she grew up. I don't think that there's anything sort of external that triggered it. I think she was raised amongst, animals. She was raised in the wild. And I actually had a chuckle when our producer said, we're struggling with network. It means she's in the wild doing the Lord's work, which is really so commendable. And also she's a feminine in this space, going after poachers, doing the real work, the real activism of being on the ground, both feet on the ground. I think that is incredibly amazing and something that we're definitely going to talk to her about. Perhaps let's take a break and see if we can connect dots with Jamie Joseph in a bit.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
The South African Medical Association, SAMA, has officially suspended all relations with the Israeli Medical Association, a move welcomed by healthcare workers for Palestine, South Africa. The organization says this decision represents a powerful stand for medical ethics, justice, and human rights, echoing the global call for solidarity with Palestinians.
And recently we've also seen other national associations such as the Medical Association, Turkish, they've released quite strongly worded statements, although none have gone as far as SAMA to cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association, as well as to call for the suspension from the World Medical Association. It's a watershed moment that an organization has actually taken this step. And it's not an idle threat. SAMA is a member of the World Medical Association, and they can action this resolution by bringing it before the World Medical Association.
Dr. Sadiq Mullah, chairperson of Healthcare Workers for Palestine, South Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Le monde entier a les yeux rivés sur Johannesburg. Les dirigeants des plus grandes économies mondiales se réunissent pour prendre des décisions qui façonneront les nations, les marchés et l'avenir. Vous savez déjà que Channel Africa sera sur place pour vous proposer des débats, des analyses et des points de vue essentiels. Suivez le sommet du G20 les 22 et 23 novembre en direct de l'Afrique. Restez connectés sur Channel Africa.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy, finding a way when you cannot see. Man with this system, he cannot pray. I need to find relief, but behind my mind it runs. All these thoughts have trouble me. Funny to give up my pain, funny to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side when it's time to leave my life. Then it tries to take me out, tell you what I need, right? Yeah, I really need my love. I really need to free my love. I really need to free my mind now.
With 23 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African time, crossing through proudly African and international sounds, Thames with Free Mind. Let's talk conservation, but really a woman who's at the forefront of a movement she has deemed saving the wild. Jamie Joseph, listen, we've been waiting with breath that is bated to speak to her about how she's come up with this beautiful, triad of coming through with the arts, conservation, activism, and the fact that it's one conversation, how she is moving into that space and really transforming the space of conservation and activism, as it were. Jamie, it is a pleasure to connect with you. Thank you very much for the time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, and we appreciate that you make time. I know that you are in the wild, you are doing the Lord's work, so it's such a pleasure. Let's talk about saving the wild and how you started this initiative.
Well, it started out as a storytelling platform,
Hmm.
and then it quickly moved to activism because I got caught up in this crusade against corruption and ended up putting a team together and going after the syndicates, the high level targets, uh, going after the kingpins and the corruption in the courts. So it took quite a dangerous turn early on at the start of 2016.
And Jamie, when we then look at these artworks, what are we looking at precisely? Are we looking at photographs? So what does the collection entail?
Are we talking about the Saving the Wild Wall Art collection?
Yes, correct.
So the Wall Art collection is there as well. We're incredibly proud of launching it. We launched it at the Economist event on the 31st of October, and it's these spectacular wall pieces that connect you with nature, whether it's your corporate office, hotels, lodges, your home, and it's a collaboration of some of the world's best wildlife photographers and artists, and then working with graphic designers and printing on materials such as silk and linen, silver, satin. I'm not aware of anyone else in the world doing this, so it's something we're really excited about and want to see it travel all over the world from South Africa onwards.
Mm. Okay, so let's talk about it. I think firstly, I want to commend you on your collaboration with photographers, with artists of all kinds, and also how you're fitting the types of fabrics and materials that are being used in the artwork so mindfully. But is this going to be a public art project? I'm battling just to understand, is it going to be a public art project? Is it going to be found in specific places? Is it going to be indoor, a gallery?
So we have our distribution partners in South Africa, based in Joburg, Cape Town, all over, is KBAC. So it's a matter of going to the website savingthewild.com/wallart. And we've launched just over 30 pieces at the launch, but there's nothing that we can't do. So, for example, if there's a vision that you have in your mind, we've got rhinos and elephants and lions, pangolins. But if there's a vision that you have in your mind, we can create that with a combination of photography and graphic design. I think the first stop would be the website, and then the process begins. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks from start to finish, and we just need the wall measurements.
And Jamie, how are these artworks going to translate into tangible impact for the conservation projects that you're a part of?
Well, it's specifically to put an end to South Africa's rhino crisis. I've been working on the crisis for a decade now, some of the people in my team even longer. And the reason why the crisis continues is because very few poachers are going to prison. And so there's no deterrent for poachers to stop killing rhinos.
Yeah.
So back in October 2017, I personally exposed a syndicate of alleged corrupt magistrates taking bribes on rhino poaching and crimes against humanity, child rape, human trafficking. And it took many years, but eventually the court president was suspended and then arrested. But he's still on suspension, and he's earned over 8 million already on his salary. So that's pretty much the landscape that we're dealing with, because there's so much money. The rhino syndicates are so powerful, and they're criminalizing communities. And I think what we need to start talking about is the human impact. Like, maybe we should just stop talking about rhinos, because that hasn't actually made too much difference. What people need to understand is that, I'm in a village right now. I'm currently based in a lodge in South Africa with, we've got lots of rhinos all around us. And, the average dependency of a South African, I'm not talking about your job, but the average is about 10 people. Now, I work with guides and trackers. I also work with people that are washing dishes, the laundry, fixing vehicles, and they do have like 7, 8, 9, 10 dependents. Now, we're talking about millions of people that are reliant on an iconic species and reliant on the wildlife tourism industry. And not only are there livelihoods and all these jobs that are at stake, but communities are being criminalized, and threatened because they are the communities that are bordering the wildlife areas.
This work is incredibly important. And also, Jamie, the artwork is absolutely exquisite. I mean, breathtaking, so, and also just so much effort and detail. I mean, this is miniature engineering at its finest. So, congratulations. If we want to support this initiative, because I would imagine that the proceeds are going to go into many different spaces. I mean, I was just a quick one. I was talking to a game guide over the weekend who was telling me that there's 12,000 rhinos left in southern Africa, not South Africa, in southern Africa, which already tells us we've got quite a huge crisis. So how do we get the art? How do we support?
Well, the art, you can go to savingthewild.com/wall art,
right,
and you can order anything there or anything that you imagine. And just know that 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards ensuring that legislation is passed to protect not only rhinos, but also other endangered species. So we met with the Ministry of Environment on the 30th of October, and we submitted our proposal 2 months earlier for minimum sentencing regime for not only rhino poaching but other endangered species. Because right now, you kill a rhino, it's not a big deal. You can get a fine, or you can get a petty fine, or you can get like a deferred sentence. So by having a deterrent to rhino poaching, we will not have so many people poaching. They'll be like, wow, I actually might go to prison, so maybe I'd rather not do this. So it's important that people understand the value of this wall art, is that they are contributing towards the future of our natural world.
Right. It's been so wonderful to connect with you. We want to join you one day on your excursions and actually interview you from the wild. This is really exquisite work, Jamie, and I don't even think this interview has done this work justice. But we wish you all the best, Jamie Joseph.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. From Saving the Wild. Please go on this website. I mean, absolutely breathtaking. savingthewild.com/wall art, should you wish to support this wonderful initiative. It's 2:31.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosibudi Makura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So Nigeria, as well as Werder Bremen striker Victor Boniface, insists his main goal is to help his club win games and not just scoring as an individual. Boniface joined Bremen in September on the season-long loan from Bayer Leverkusen. Now Boniface says he now understands that football has its ups and downs, and he knows if he does well with the team, he will eventually find the back of the net for Bremen.
Yeah, football is like life, sometimes you have this good moment, sometimes you have the bad moment, but the most important thing for me is how to find the right way, it's not just about me scoring, also it's about the result of the team in general. I can be scoring and we are losing. I don't want that. So I want the situation when we are able to win games, and when we start winning games, then the goals will come.
Now, Boniface suffered an ACL injuries back in 2018-2019 season, and again in the 2020-2021 season. His injuries unfortunately caused him to miss 14 games last season with Bayer Leverkusen, and the Nigerian says he hopes to remain injury-free for his new club.
For me personally, to try to play the whole season without injury, and when I signed here, I made it clear to the media and said before that as a football player, I don't have an aim like, I want to do this, I want to do this. I just go and how it goes. The most important thing for me, myself, is to try and help the team in any way, score goals at least, and play free, injury-free season. And for the team, we try to achieve something good also, so we see how it goes.
Further field now, Lamine Yamal was released from Spain's squad earlier today for the World Cup qualifiers against Georgia, as well as Turkey, after undergoing treatment on a groin injury, prompting criticism from the Spanish Football Federation. Now, the 18-year-old Barcelona winger, who has missed 5 matches for his club due to the issue, underwent a radio frequency operation on Monday. Yamal, capped 23 times by Spain, has netted 6 goals and contributed 6 assists in 11 matches this this season for Barcelona. Now, Spain top Group E with about 12 points from all 4 matches, scoring 15 goals and conceding just 1 goal. They face Georgia this coming Saturday in Tbilisi before hosting Turkey on Tuesday in Seville. On to some tennis news now. Tunisian's former world number 2 Ons Jabeur announced on Monday that she's expecting her first child and will take an extended break from professional tennis. The 31-year-old, currently ranked 79th on the world rankings, added that she would be setting aside her career temporarily to focus on her new family life, as she's expecting a baby boy in April of 2026. Jabeur, who has won 5 WTA titles during her career, has been open about her struggles with depression amid a demanding tour schedule, and her announcement comes amid ongoing concerns over the strenuous tennis calendar. Meanwhile, still on tennis news, Italy's Yannick Sinner got his title defence off to a solid start with a dominant straight sets victory over ailing Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime at the ATP finals on Monday in Turin, Italy. So 9 days after their duel in the final of the Paris Masters, Sinner was again the strongest, winning 7-5 and 6-1, but fellow Italian Lorenzo Mosito was earlier outclassed 6-3 and 6-4 by American Taylor Fritz. After a tight first set, Sinner swept aside Auger-Aliassime, who had been hampered by a left calf injury, by breaking serve to rush to a 3-love lead. He broke him a second time to close out the match with an ace after an hour and 41 minutes on court. Well, that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Alternatively, give us a call. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update on the upside in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosito Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. The Midnight Snack, 12 to 3 a.m.
Muranziwa wa mina. Muranziwa means my love in Xitsonga. So if you're listening to this, just know that you are my love. Yes. You and I are an item. We are dating. We are together. So I love you, baby. Why are you blushing? Why are you blushing? Like, haven't you heard somebody confessing their love to you? I mean, you gotta get used to it now, because I'm gonna tell you this every day, that I love you. I can tell you, there's so many people who are never told they are loved. I come to the studio every Monday, 12 to 3, because I've got an appointment with you. I take you serious. Forget about the other person, right? Moranziwa.
The Midnight Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Chanduko Ligege.
37 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Now let's hear Chanduko Ligege being serious and get some business news from him. He's standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. An economist has pointed out that while the latest decrease in the rate of unemployment is a positive sign, unemployment remains unsustainably high in South Africa. The comments follow the release of Stats SA's quarterly labor force survey, and it shows that the country's official unemployment rate eased by 1.3% from 33.2% in the second quarter to 31.9% in the third quarter of 2025. The data indicates that 248,000 increase in the number of employed persons to 17.1 million, while the number of unemployed persons decreased by 360,000 to 8 million. David Root is chief economist at Efficient Group.
There were a number of definitional changes, and there were also changes in terms of the size of the workforce. So there's a lot of statistical changes that happened in the data. Looking through all of that, it seems to me as if the unemployment rate in South Africa has stabilized and there's a slight improvement. And I think that also resonates with some recent economic data suggesting that the South African economy is growing a little bit stronger than what we've expected. Having said that, the unemployment rate of close to 32% is still dangerously high. We need much, much stronger economic growth to improve on that.
An informal trader in Polokwane in South Africa's Limpopo province says he has stopped paying attention to the budget speech as it does not improve informal businesses. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana will table his medium-term budget policy statement tomorrow. An informal trader near Polokwane Hospital believes that the budget overlooks the plight of hawkers.
At this present moment, I don't really believe that the government is spending money wisely because our stalls, we are having some stalls here, and then we are paying the municipality rent, their rates every month, but they are doing nothing. The only thing they do is just to receive the cash from us. I mean, we don't have toilets. I mean, we have nothing here, and we are saving the people. At the hospital, we have almost maybe more than 25 years selling in front of this hospital, Petersburg Hospital, but there is no improvement of services from the municipality.
South Africa's Cape Town International Airport has reached a major milestone in welcoming its 1 millionth passenger last month ahead of the peak season. AXA says the achievement, usually seen only during the busy December period, signals an early and strong start to the peak travel season. AXA Group spokesperson Ufenze Dijwe says that focus remains on delivering efficient, safe and welcoming airport services.
The terminal is alive with travelers and there's a real sense of excitement as we see more people taking to the skies earlier than usual this year. We're grateful to our airport partners, airlines, and ground teams for their dedication, and to our passengers for their patience and support as we manage record numbers within our current facilities. We look forward to welcoming every traveler passing through Cape Town International Airport this season, and thank you for being part of this remarkable milestone.
Australia's corporate regulator says it has sued AVZ Minerals and two of its directors, alleging the miner failed to disclose an escalating legal dispute with the Democratic Republic of the Congo over its stake in a lithium project. The Australian Securities and Investments Commission accused the Perth-based company of breaching disclosure obligations and engaging in misleading and deceptive conduct by withholding information about the dispute. AVZ holds a 75% stake in the Manono lithium project through its subsidiary Deathcom Mining. It has been embroiled in a legal dispute with the DRC government since 2022 over ownership rights to the project, which comprises the world's largest deposits of hard rock lithium. In other news, Microsoft plans to invest $10 billion in artificial intelligence infrastructure at a data center in Portugal's port city of Sines over the next few years, marking one of the largest AI investment projects in Europe. The technology giant will work in partnership with developers Start Campus, AI infrastructure platform NScale, and chipmaker NVIDIA to deploy 12,600 next-generation NVIDIA graphics processing units in Sines, which is 150 kilometers south of Lisbon. Now let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 Naira 435, Botswana 13 Pula 26. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 35. Zambia 22 Kwacha 61. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 Real 32. In Russia 80 rubles 86. India 88 rupees 68. China 7 yuan 12. South Africa 17 rand 20 cents. $1 is 76 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Commodities, gold is trading at $4,140, platinum at $1,590 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $64.35 a barrel. That is all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
44 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Thank you so much for choosing us this afternoon on The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us live on our social media platforms so you can stream the show, check out our lovely studio and our next guest at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And don't forget to download our brand new Channel Africa app on your Android or your iOS device so you can take us with you wherever you go. Now, money lessons aren't just for adults. They are for tomorrow's dreamers, doers, and decision makers too. To celebrate its 90th anniversary, Alex Forbes has launched a groundbreaking digital storybook called Smart Money Moves for the Save Squad, designed to help children aged 7 to 9 take their first confident steps toward financial literacy. Through fun, fable-inspired tales and interactive activities, the book teaches saving, planning, and goal setting in a way that's easy to understand and enjoyable to explore. It's more than just a book, it's a movement to build financial confidence from the earliest age. Joining us to unpack how storytelling meets smart money education is Ricardo Fontanella, executive for group marketing at Alex Forbes. Ricardo, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Let's get to know, or let's learn more about the story of Alex Forbes. 90 years is quite the milestone. Where did it all begin?
Yeah, thank you. And good afternoon. And also to all the listeners and everyone tuning in. Thank you for this opportunity. So yeah, 90 years. I mean, it's quite a significant year for us, 2025. Forbes has been around for a very long time, outpacing, many companies in South Africa. And it's quite a testament to still be around and still be relevant in the market. I think, on the back of this book, really, 90 years, that milestone, we really wanted to reinforce our commitment that we've had for over 1 million members in South Africa and helping them secure their financial well-being. And I think more than just looking back at what we've done and what we've achieved, we also want to look forward to the next 90 years and more. And so this book for us is in many respects a gift to the next generation and the young children of today. So we believe that financial literacy is a life skill. We believe it should start young, and we wanted to create a fun and accessible way for kids to really start learning about saving, planning, and smart money moves. And this book is the culmination of that vision and that intent.
We definitely should start them early, Ricardo. Let's talk about the target group, 7 to 9 years old, still very young, impressionable, ready to learn about money. But 90 years ago, obviously the 7-year-old was a completely different 7-year-old to the one that we see today. So talk to us about perhaps some of the stuff that's in the book, the financial skills that are in the book, because you mentioned that it's going to be fun and accessible. So talk to us about how you were able to execute that through this project.
Yeah, and I mean, you really struck an important point there. I mean, 90 years ago, the kids at that time definitely didn't have tablets, didn't have smartphones. And I think now, broadly speaking, a lot of people have access to a smartphone. And I think that's one of the reasons why we, really went out with a digital approach here to make the book available in digital format and also in audio format. The book itself has a lot of lessons for kids. So it covers things like saving and planning, teaching kids the value of saving for short-term goals, ahead and prioritizing needs over wants. It teaches children about patience and consistency when it comes to money and saving money. So things like, even regular small payments can add up over time. And that patience is really the key to even reach bigger goals. And then throughout the book, there's also, wise money tips, things like think before you spend, avoid impulsive, spending habits, and really understand the importance of growing your money. And, you mentioned the interactive aspect of it. So each story that we've curated in this book is accompanied by an interactive activity and general tips that really make it fun for not only the children, but also parents and teachers who might be guiding children through the very basic financial literacy lessons in this book.
Alex Forbes is celebrating 90 years by giving back to the next generation with a financial literacy book for kids. And we'll continue our conversation with Ricardo and find out a bit more about the book right after this. It's 49 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
The South African Medical Association, SAMA, has officially suspended all relations with the Israeli Medical Association, a move welcomed by healthcare workers for Palestine, South Africa. The organization says this decision represents a powerful stand for medical ethics, justice, and human rights, echoing the global call for solidarity with Palestinians.
And recently, we've also seen other national associations, such as the British Medical Association, Turkish. They've released quite strongly worded statements, although none have gone as far as SAMA to cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association, as well as to call for the suspension from the World Medical Association. It's a watershed moment that an organization has actually taken this step. And it's not an idle threat. SAMA is a member of the World Medical Association, and they can action this resolution by bringing it before the World Medical Association.
Dr. Sadiq Mullah, chairperson of Healthcare Workers for Palestine, South Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
As Alex Forbes celebrates its 90th anniversary, they have launched a groundbreaking digital storybook called Smart Money Moves for the Save Squad. It's designed to help children aged 7 to 9 to take their first confident steps toward financial literacy. And we continue our conversation with Ricardo Fontanella, executive for group marketing at Alex Forbes. Ricardo, let's talk about the challenges that you had identified in adults that made this book such a real and a practical solution, because you're like, the next generation, we don't want to be fighting the same battles that we're fighting with the current adults right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. So, if you look at Alex Forbes, our core business is really helping people save for, a comfortable retirement and help them retire with dignity.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of advice and solutions that goes into the mix of that. But what we've seen when we look at the data and the research that we've done is that a lot of people actually make bad choices when it comes to their money. And these bad choices have a very detrimental effect on their financial success in future years. And a lot of this stuff is really, people don't understand their options. They don't understand how they can make their money work for them. They don't understand their relationship with money. And so I think something like this is really important to really start off at a young age for kids, and to not do it in an intimidating way, because I think money has always had a really sensitive appeal to it. People don't want to talk about money. But it's actually one of the greatest things in life skills that you can get is to actually understand money and build a relationship with it and make it work for you. And so, we believe that at a very young age, if kids start learning about money in a very fun and interactive way, one that doesn't intimidate them and one that they can really relate to, I think we'll put a lot of the next generation in good stead for a comfortable retirement and future financial success.
Man, the future of retirement looks very bright at this stage, especially considering the world of work and how it's shaping and changing, with so much travel and access being available to the young ones. I really have to applaud Alex Forbes for the audio version. I think you mentioned that there's going to be an audio version. This also then makes it inclusive for children who have reading reading challenges, as it were. So I think that's a wonderful thing. So on that note, Ricardo, let's talk about access to this book. How can we get access to this book? If I'm listening to this conversation and I've got little ones and I would like assistance from Alex Forbes, because let me tell you, as a mother, it's really difficult to teach these little ones about money. So I'd like to get my hands on this book. How can we do so?
Also, and you hit the nail on the head there. I think just before we get to where you can access the book, I think it's very important to say that I think as part of our vision and intent here, we really wanted to make the book as accessible and inclusive as possible.
Right.
We wanted to reach as many South African families across the country. The digital and audio versions were a deliberate action on our part to actually fulfill that. So, every child, regardless of their abilities and learning preferences, can benefit from this. And every family and every community, regardless of their background and circumstances, can benefit too. The book itself is available on our website at alexforbes.com. You do not have to navigate to different site pages. It is on the homepage, so it's very accessible. There is a banner that will bring your attention to the Save Team Squad. You can click on that banner and you can download the book. It is free. And I think that's another reason why, we want to reach as many families. There's very few resources out there that teach children about financial literacy. And even fewer resources that are as accessible, as inclusive, and culturally relevant. So I think this book really does address that gap, and we've seen it in the positive feedback that we've received on the back of this launch.
And Ricardo, are there any current partners or plans to partner up with schools or educational departments to integrate the smart money moves for the Save Squad into the classrooms?
Yes, we have very big plans for our characters in the book. One of the first things we would like to do is obviously extend the language in which the book is written, and the audio is translated. So we will look at other languages and release the book in other languages. We are also actively looking at partnerships with schools, libraries, and communities, and seeing where we can actually make hard copies available for previously disadvantaged individuals. So we really want to see this book on the shelves. We want to see it on smartphones, and we encourage everyone, children, families, friends, communities around the country to get a copy. And we are doing everything we possibly can to extend the reach of this book and make it available to everyone.
Okay, very exciting, and we look forward to seeing the edition that comes through in other South African languages. Ricardo Fontanella joining us in his capacity as executive group marketing or in charge of group marketing, that is, at Alexandra Forbes.
Listen, there's
Thank you very much.
There's a lesson, Ricardo, that you touch on in the book, needs versus wants. And it's a key lesson because I think some adults still struggle with that very concept, needs versus wants. How did you simplify it in the book? And perhaps you can help some adults today in distinguishing between the two.
Yeah, I think it basically boils down to some of the fables. And I think this is really something that echoes through all of them. I think that's the nice thing about the book. There's a lot of reinforcement of the messages. So, the Jasper story, if I think of that one, that's the one that sticks out to me because Jasper the dog and the jiggly steak really does stand out for me because it reminds me of my own dog Harvey. And in the story, what he does is exactly what I would see play out in real life with my dog. But with him, he's looking at a steak. He's got a steak in his mouth, a juicy steak, and he goes to a river, and he looks at the river, and the reflection that comes back at him is of him, but a much bigger steak. All right. And he's perfectly fine with the piece of steak that he has in his mouth, but because of the reflection that he's seeing in the water and this big, juicy steak that's there, he obviously drops his and puts his head in the water and finds that there's nothing there. So it does boil down to things like having FOMO, and really, focusing on, what you really need. And if you have it, good. Don't have a herd mentality and go for certain things that other people might be going for. Resist the FOMO, behavioral bias that's with you. And really be content with that, because that's really the secret of saving money, is having that patience. Have what you got and grow it from there.
Ricardo, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. A book that's not just going to help the young ones, but also the parents and teachers as well. And we really appreciate the work that Alex Forbes is doing.
Thank you very much, guys.
The voice of Ricardo Fontanella, executive for group marketing at Alex Forbes. Smart money moves for the Save Squad. Do you struggle with needs versus wants?
No.
You are fine. These are my needs, my wants, and my needs. My needs column must not exceed my wants spend.
Listen to you, Mr. Graphs and
No,
tables.
I'm just asking.
No, I'm actually really good with money.
Oh, come on.
Really
now.
good with money.
When are you launching your book?
About what?
About managing money.
About the soil. That's coming.
Yeah, but also
the
managing,
soil book.
Also managing money.
In the stores.
Ricardo just said a lot of adults struggle when it comes to managing money and they make some poor decisions.
Well, I mean, if you want to impress the Joneses, you will always have problems. But if you know what the goal is, and you live within your means, you will have very few problems. I promise you.
Live within your means. Okay. Is this a book you'd recommend to your kids?
The Alex Forbes one?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Based on what I heard, I actually think we're going to peruse this book in my household with my 12 children today.
You know, people are actually going to take you seriously when you say he's 12 kids.
Well, I do. I've got quite a lot.
That's a whole soccer team, but and a whole cricket team. They're all in one. It's 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news and step into the final hour with Onel Nsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Well, thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories, investigations into killings and other violations committed in the October 29 Tanzania elections, and at least 12 people killed in an explosion in Pakistan. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. The UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk has urged investigations into the killings and other violations committed in the context of the October 29 elections in Tanzania. This as a report emerged that bodies may have been taken by security forces to undisclosed locations. The UN Human Rights Office alleges that hundreds of protesters and other people were killed in the East African country and an unknown number injured or detained. The office says it has been unable to independently verify the casualty figures owing to the violation security situation and the internet shutdown which followed the vote. Furthermore, the president of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, still has to announce her cabinet. This after the Electoral Commission in the country declared her as winner of the presidential elections. However, the opposition that called for boycott of elections has indicated that it will not recognize Samia Suluhu Hassan as president. Sophie Mugwena reports.
Members of parliament in Tanzania still have to be sworn in before they can take their seats. This landslide's victory, however, has drawn reaction as elections were marred by protests. The swearing in of MPs this week will pave way for the president to elect a cabinet. There has been silence from the presidency on the current tension in that country. However, it is expected that the new cabinet will embark on a charm offensive to try and bring calm and stability in that country.
The South African Police Service says a multidisciplinary integrated plan is in place to deal with any form of lawlessness prior and during the G20 World Leaders Summit. Over 25,000 guests, including heads of states from all over the world, are expected to attend the summit in Johannesburg from the 22nd of this month. Acting Gauteng Province Police Commissioner, Major General Fred Gegani, says they are working with all relevant stakeholders to ensure the safety of the delegates and citizens.
We have integrated that it's collaborative. All necessary role players to ensure from road safety to venue safety to food security and protection, including police visibility and the safety of all the visitors, including those who will just be visiting the country and the province. We are ready. Everything is in place.
South Africa's National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batohi, has acknowledged that cases related to state capture have not been prosecuted sufficiently. Batohi has been testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating allegations of corruption, criminality and political interference in the justice system. Batohi says there is a lot of good work the National Prosecuting Authority has done, but some matters in state capture are still lacking.
Generally, the prosecuting authority is doing exceptionally well, but I can accept that there are areas where I had certainly hoped that at this time in my career we would have gone further than where we are, particularly investigating and prosecuting state capture matters and some other forms of high-profile corruption. And there are various reasons for that. I shouldn't say for prosecuting them, perhaps to have, because many cases are in court, but getting through a court system to finality is something else, and I can talk more about that later if I'm asked.
And lastly, the authorities in Pakistan say at least 12 people have been killed in an explosion near a crowded courthouse in the capital. 27 others have been injured. Some are reported to be in a serious condition. The BBC's Caroline Davis.
Footage filmed outside the court complex showed the remains of a burnt-out car, its windows blown away. Police have cordoned off the area. Pakistan's Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi visited the spot within hours of the explosion and spoke to local journalists. He's claimed that a suicide bomber was planning to attack the courthouse but was unable to get inside, instead attacking a police vehicle outside the court complex. He said that the authorities will now prioritise identifying the bomber and that those involved will be brought to justice.
Recapping on your top stories, the UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk has urged investigations into the killings and other violations committed in the context of the October 29 elections in Tanzania. This as reports emerged that bodies may have been taken by security forces to undisclosed locations. For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I am Onele Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Channel Africa.
Your Africa, your voice, your channel. Channel Africa.
The African Perspective.
Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Hey. Yep. Come on. Listen to this. 7 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. That's how you kickstart the final hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African Perspective, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. And you can join us live on our social media platform. Check out our lovely studio, see our amazing guests at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And don't forget to download our brand new Channel Africa app on your Android or your iOS device so you can take us with you wherever you go. Final hour. Can you believe on this Tuesday?
I believe like Oskido.
Okay.
I believe. I really do. Tell me something. You know, I've always believed that it's either a person is a musical lover or not. Like there isn't ifs or buts or gray area like, yeah, I could do a musical. It's either you're really fond of musicals or you absolutely detest them. So which side of the fence do you sit on? I've actually never experienced anyone who's in the middle ground.
The ones that I have attended, and yeah, I would definitely say that I'm a musical lover. The ones that I've attended, I mean, I've seen, and I'm very new to going to theaters to watch musicals, but the ones that I've seen, I remember one in particular. I remember the MJ one, tribute to Michael Jackson.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what a performance that was.
Spectacular.
Oh, that was spectacular. I loved that one. I loved it. In fact, I had to ask the theater organizer or committee to bring me back to go watch it again, because what happened was that I left during the interval. It was my first time going to these theater things. I was like, hey man, I feel so shortchanged. I left. So in a theater production, there's an interval, there's a break in between, right? I didn't know it was a break. I saw people leaving.
You're clearly very new to theater.
No, they left they left the theater.
Yeah.
Went outside. I thought, okay, that's it, we're done. I was like, I felt so shortchanged. I was like, I want more. I left and I posted on social media. I was like, guys, why was it so short? People went in the comment section. My guy, my brother, did you leave during the interval? This thing was 2 hours long. So I had to ask the organizers, listen, I have to come back and see the rest of it. So I am a musical lover. Musical theater, I enjoy it. Absolutely.
Yes, look, there's nothing quite like a really solid musical. It's just there's a life force about that work that I think every African person needs to experience. And speaking of musicals, there's a new one that's hitting the South African stage. It is called The Call. And as we understand it, it's a bold queer African production that is blending music, storytelling, visual art, and as a celebration for identity and survival. So we're going to talk about The Call and what it's about and who the cast members are, all the good information that you need to know about this beautiful piece. We're going to talk about it.
All right. It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Don't go anywhere.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu masuala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
The South African Medical Association, SAMA, has officially suspended all relations with the Israeli Medical Association, a move welcomed by healthcare workers for Palestine, South Africa. The organization says this decision represents a powerful stand for medical ethics, justice, and human rights, echoing the global call for solidarity with Palestinians.
And recently we've also seen other national associations such as the British Medical Association, Turkish. They've released quite strongly worded statements, although none have gone as far as SAMA to cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association, as well as to call for the suspension from the World Medical Association. It's a watershed moment that an organization has actually taken this step. And it's not an idle threat. SAMA is a member of the World Medical Association, and they can action this resolution by bringing it before the World Medical Association.
Dr. Sadiq Mullah, chairperson of Healthcare Workers for Palestine, South Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Remix, Mr. Flavor, Valley Dance Hard, and a shower remix. I know. I pium 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 pium. Waka waka baby, uru uru baby, corner corner baby. And I go tell my mama, and I go tell my papa, and I go tell am say, you be waka waka baby, you be chuku chuku baby, baby sawale, sawa sawa sawale, sawa sawa sawale. Pom pom, ikorokotom, ipom pom, ikorokotom, ipom pom, ikorokotom, ipom pom, ikorokotom. Pakolopa, 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 ipom pom. Ọjàrí pọpọ, ukumọ bèbí, achukurege, ipom pom. Aṣawo, awusa, awusa, aṣawo, aṣawo, awusa, pom pom. Pom pom. And the baby sawa lele, sawa le, sawa 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 le. My baby, let me fag it. 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 My baby, wanna bang it. Lahi lahi ilala, aboki manu where the suya. Aki aki alcohol. Me I want to chop money. I get them plenty plenty plenty. Looking for sexy sexy sexy. I want some porokotom potom pom. She con the pium 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 pium. Waka waka baby, uru uru baby, corner corner baby. And I go tell my mama, and I go tell my papa, and I go tell am say, you be waka waka baby, you be chuku chuku baby, baby sawale, sawa sawa sawale, sawa sawa sawale. Pom pom, ikorokotom, ipom pom, ikorokotom, ipom pom, ikorokotom, ipom pom, ikorokotom. Pakolopa, 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 ipom pom.
Flavor coming through there with Noah Baby. It's 3:15 Central African time.
What is that? A remix?
Yeah,
what
which
was
one?
that? No, baby.
No, It's not a remix.
Oh my goodness.
It's not a remix. It's Noah
Wow.
Baby by Flavor. Oh man! All right, let's get into our conversation. And there's a musical about to hit the South African shores, and we're looking forward to that one.
The call. The call is what it is. Listen, it's almost like you got to stand on a mountain and say, the call. Because that's what it requires. All right. It is a bold queer African production that is also blending music, storytelling, and visual arts to celebrate themes of joy, themes of identity, themes of survival. And as I understand it, it is inspired by Shakespeare's The Tempest, all right, as it reshapes the classic tale through South African history and queer experiences. Very, very interesting. So I guess if you're like me and you haven't really tapped into queer productions that are musically inclined, this one is going to be quite a treat. Let's talk about it. Okay, we're going to be talking to Mkhululi Zandile Mabija, who is a playwright and librettist. I hope I'm saying it correctly, who's joining us on the line so we can talk about The Call. Mkhululi, a pleasure to talk to you on Channel Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on Channel Africa. It's my first time. Exciting times.
Listen, very excited to talk about The Call. Please, can we talk about what a librettist does? Sounds very, very executive, librettist.
I get that all the time.
Oh, my
A
goodness.
librettist is the words person to operas and musicals. So I basically am the playwright and I'm the lyricist, but my work is primarily to work with music. So everything that I do has to have a component of music. So as a librettist, it's a rare occasion. I do plays and I write plays. So operas and musicals are more my thing.
You see, we learn every single day.
Oh, I love
we
it. I
learn
love
every
that.
single Mkhulu, let's talk about The Call, because it is,
Yes.
it evolved from the Shakespearean play Tempest. But,
Mhm.
many artists reinvent or reinterpret classics, right? But you have chosen to completely reimagine this one through African and queer identities. Tell us how this idea came about and what statement you are hoping to make through this transformation.
Yeah, thank you so much. Not necessarily a statement, but a rediscovery. The Tempest
Mm.
is Shakespeare's most African play.
Yeah.
And if you look at the text, if you look at the geography, if you look at the history in it, it's his most African and Pan-Africanist play that he has. And if you speak Shakespeare, they had men performing in dresses in the 1500s,
Yep.
1600s.
Yep.
So it's not a new thing. That we explore all of these things. So we just reimagining and rediscovering it. But what's new is that really bringing it to the South African context, because the elements of the politics, the elements that we discuss that's in the show already, is actually relevant to our situation right now. Caliban's mother came onto the island. She was the original owner of the island. Then Caliban, the slave, who's now the slave, is robbed of the land, and Prospera is taken over. And as Africans, we understand colonialism so well. Understand. So those are points that are brought into it, and even now, neo-colonialism in spaces, especially the big cities, pushing people out. So yeah. So all of these elements are quite relevant right now to our lived experience. And yeah, flipping it in its head, it's like really, it's about having fun. It's really just about having fun. It's about really understanding it, but yet not leaving the theater crawling because you were like, oh my goodness, that thing was so intense, but more elevated, saying, okay, oh, people live like that, and okay, this is how they think, and this is what they do. Okay, okay, let me just reassess this, and let me just think about this more instead of just taking things at face value.
This is so exciting. I want to watch this. I want to watch The Call. If you happen to catch this broadcast live, thank you for tuning in. This is Channel Africa, The Upside, and our special guest in the final hour is Mkhulu Zandile Mabija, joining us in his capacity as a playwright and librettist. Okay, and we're talking about The Call and how it blends music. I mean, all the things that really make African people what they are: music, rhythm, visual art, are all incorporated in the story. Let's take a break.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Deogratus Bwire, wewe kama mkurugenzi wa shirika la kutetea haki za binadamu kutoka kule Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Maandamano yameendelea kwa siku ya pili. Nini kinaendelea?
Kwanza mimi ningependa tusiliweke kama wafuasi wa upinzani, kwa sababu kiukweli mimi nilipata kidogo kushuhudia watu waliokuwa wanapita barabarani hawakuwa kwa namna yoyote ile wamebeba bendera ya chama chochote cha upinzani.
Umezungumzia swala zima, vitu ambavyo havijakaa sawa vinapaswa kurekebishwa. Vitu hivyo ni nini?
Hivyo vitu ambavyo havijakaa sawa tayari nimeshavisema huko. Najua kumekuwepo na mtiririko wa matukio mengi sana, watu ambao wanakuwa wanapinga masuala kadha wa kadha ambayo yanaonekana kufanywa na vyombo vya dola kwenye mitandao au hata pia nje, wamekuwa wakichukuliwa hatua.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
22 minutes into 3 p.m. in Central African Time. We are broadcasting live, and of course, you can catch this broadcast on Southern African Satellite on the audio bouquet on DSTV channel 802. We are talking about The Call, which is a musical that celebrates queer identity and the community, but doing so through a wonderful production, I beg your pardon, that is navigating storytelling in a very joyful manner. I think if you were able to catch the first segment with Mkhululi Zandile Mapija, who is the playwright behind this wonderful production, giving us context as to bringing lightness into the challenges of the community, but also inclusive of that is the challenges that all people under the African sky face today. So he joins us on the line as we really continue to talk about this wonderful production. Mkhululi, let's talk about just casting for this. I would imagine casting for this must be quite a thing, because you are not only looking for people that are actors, you're looking for people that also have a lived experience to share. You're looking for people that know how to sing. You're looking for powerful stage presence, big voices that are able to take the story forward. Tell us about the casting.
Yes, thank you for that. It was quite an interesting experience. I've never really had to, in the past, we always think about colorblind casting and how to move things forward. But now this casting was very interesting because we had to look at also casting trans people, people who are in the LGBTQI community, and also allies of the LGBTQI community, so it was just a beautiful mixed bag of people who are just like, who believe in the work, who believe in the struggle of the people of this community, and yet in the same breath also who can perform, who are phenomenal performers. So yeah, and also casting it in Cape Town was beautiful, because it's just like there's so many people of every single color of the rainbow here in Cape Town. So we went through a whole rounds of casting, but we found a perfect cast that could assist us to actually see what this thing actually is,
Mkhululi, let's talk about the stage. I assume, not I assume, it is based on an island. Am I correct in saying that? And is the island used as a metaphor, right? In your version of the Tempest, what is it? What is it saying? Why an island? Because some people may think an island is isolation. One manned island. Tell us about it. What does it mean? What does it
No,
represent?
and looking from thank you for that. Looking for it from the African context, we have islands that were really prisoners to our people. You look at Saint Helena, we look at Robben Island, look at Zanzibar, you look at all these islands that were used to really oppress some of our people. So that is a big thing. That's a bigger question, is like, what really happens in these spaces. So luckily for us, yes, the Tempest is set on this, but as Africans, we know even Guatemala Bay, like these islands that have all these atrocities happening to humanity. So what happens when everybody's status is at zero at this island, but not as a prisoner? So this is the new discovery, how we flipped it. What happens when the king comes and he's not a king? In our piece, he's a president. So what happens is that he's not president of this land. He's just a man, and he meets his ex, who's Prospero. What happens there when they just meet as two human beings and not people of status? So, and that is the bigger point about that we're trying to also push across, is that how do we see each other, not in our socio-political situations or in our statuses where we are in our community, but just man to man, woman to woman, and so forth, and what is that connectivity that we're running away from? So the call is actually that. What is that call from the beginning? What is it that we need to be reminded of? That is like that, a bird's call that wakes up us every morning, the imam's call that wakes up our hearts every single morning. What is that call to us innately as human beings? And let's get back to that call.
Man, I love your mind. I love that. And I like that Tebogo actually asked you about the islands, because isn't it fascinating? And I think in explorations of Black geographies on the African continent, but also in diasporic spaces. You mentioned Nicaragua.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay, yeah.
Yeah. What other places? The Dominican Republic.
The,
You
the
know.
Jamaica,
Yes.
all these, yeah, there was all
Garifuna,
this
all those
oppression.
places.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think that is that is a big musical. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the core message in the compositions very quickly. If we could just look at that, because I think that's such an important element of your storytelling. You know, the opera, you know, borrowing from Shakespeare and Africanizing it, perhaps through instrumentation as well. What is your approach to that?
That was a fun way to actually tell this piece, because you can't do it without the music, you
Yeah.
know. So I've got wonderful collaborators, Paul Castles, the composer, and Nonku Piri, who's the music director and
Amazing.
orchestrator,
Yeah.
and Nonku is a genius.
Oh man, she is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's amazing, and just having a part of this with Paul and I, it's just being amazing. So what they've done is that actually we've uh, taken the score and made it electric. And in that electricness, we found the Amapiano, the opera, the Shangaan, all of that is living in the electric, you know, and it's such a beautiful amalgamation, because it's just like, what is what is music? What is the music of an island? What is
Mm.
that music? You're surrounded by this body of water. What is that magic that comes from it in the evening in a full moon? And the best way right now that we've done it is through electronic techno kind of music. So it's going to be so interesting just having this contrast of having the Shakespeare and it's queer and it's drag with electro. You're going to feel like you're in a club, but yet in a church, yet in a rave. But the whole point is a place of just of upliftment and understanding and just of oneness that we want to get to. And because we're surrounded by this body of water, you have nowhere to go. You got to deal with this issue. Let's have fun and let's see where the night gets us.
And Mkhulu, let's talk about dates. Am I correct in saying it's already passed, or are we going to have another in Johannesburg at some point?
Yes, this past weekend, this past Saturday and Sunday, we had the first stage reading that happened at Outlaw Base here in
Okay.
Cape Town on Hart Street. But this is very exciting because we actually have an American partner, the Rattlestick Theater off Broadway in New York. So in February, we're actually all going to New York. We're gonna have a developmental residency there where we can explore the piece more and break it up, because we're looking at taking this to Broadway. And we
Wow.
have Broadway producers attached to it already. Ms. Cesare Dolfa, who's our leader, and she just got nominated this year for a Tony Award for the production of Gypsy on Broadway, a woman
Wow.
of color doing good work in New York City. So we're looking at Broadway and then looking at bringing it back home. So with Storybridge, it's a beautiful connection that Cesare has done, because Cesare and I and Paul, we met 18 years ago in New York as students. And Paul and I have since come back to South Africa. Paul is Australian, but he lives here in South Africa now. And Cesare stayed, but Cesare's got this company, Storybridge, where she wants to take the stories back and forth, you know, from Cape Town to New York, from New York back to Cape Town. So that is the whole point of Storybridge, this exchange. And this show is the springboard of that exchange, of us having first shown this in Cape Town and then moving it and having it showed in New York in 3 months. And
Stunning.
then we have meetings with other theaters in Cape Town again to see if we can bring it back towards the end of 2026, beginning 2027. So we'll be on the lookout for that after we come back, and then we head back to New York.
Man, listen, I'm so proud of you. And the words that I heard in my head now is Mkhulu Lizandile Mabija, from Kimberley to Broadway. That's what I heard in
Yeah.
my head. Well done, you.
From
Well
your
done.
lips to God, from your lips to God's ears. Thank you so much.
Well done. This is such a beautiful initiative. The Call, a bold queer African production that is coming to stage you. So if I were you, I would pay attention. Such a beautiful story and a wonderful conversation. 333 on the clock. Let's check in with sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosibudi Makura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So Morocco has become the latest African member association, a beneficiary of the FIFA Arena project following the inauguration of a mini pitch in Mekenes, north of the country. The facility at the Halima Al Sadia School is the first in North Africa, in the North African country rather, and is expected now to serve over 200,000 students from neighboring schools, including the High Salam School, the Salah ad-Din Al Ayubi School, as well as the Al Mohaddafili High School. So the Halimi Sadia School in Mekens will also benefit from this modern as well as sustainable facility, which will also offer other students a safe as well as a motivating space to play football. The project is expected to have a huge impact for the children from the underprivileged neighbors, but also giving them an opportunity to play football in ideal conditions and also promoting social inclusion, personal development, as well as their passion for the sport. Back home now, Hugo Bruce, the head coach of the South African men's national football team, Bafana Bafana, says a win against Zambia in an international friendly match on Saturday is crucial for the team to maintain their top 10 ranking in the African rankings. Now, speaking to the media on the first day of their international week camp in Johannesburg, Bruce says a 3-0 loss they suffered against Lesotho in the boardroom has affected their rankings, and they need now to rectify that. Bafana Bafana will play Chapolo Polo at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in the country's Eastern Cape province on Saturday afternoon, and Bruce maintains that it is a must-win game for Bafana Bafana.
Preparation for the game of Saturday, friendly game, but for me, friendly games don't exist. Every game we have to be focused and concentrated and trying to win that game, and it will not be different for this game. I want to win on Saturday.
Now, the camp has started with some confusion for Bafana Bafana as they were forced to change their hotels from Roodepoort to Sandton. This also meant that they had to change their training venue from Dobsonville Stadium to Ellis Park Stadium, as Bruce explains the reasons behind this.
That the booking was cancelled. Yes, very nice news 2 days before the camp. So there was an overbooking and blah, 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 blah. So Saturday morning, it was up to us to find another hotel. And not only that, so first of all, we tried to find something in the region where we're always there, so not too far from Dobson. But we couldn't find an hotel, and I think it's normal that 2 days before you come with 36 people, that every hotel is available. So we had to come this side. And
further afield now, Lamine Yamal has been released from Spain's squad and did so on Tuesday from their World Cup qualifiers against Georgia, as well as Turkey, after undergoing a treatment on a groin injury, prompting criticism from the Spanish Football Federation. Now, the 18-year-old Barcelona winger, who has missed about 5 matches for his club due to this issue, underwent a radio frequency operation on Monday. Yamal capped 23 times for Spain, has netted 6 goals and also contributed 6 assists in 11 matches this season for Barcelona. Now, Spain top Group E with about 12 points from about 4 matches, scoring 15 goals and conceding none. They face Georgia on Saturday before hosting Turkey on Tuesday in Sevilla. And finally, in tennis news, Tunisia's former world number 2 Ons Jabeur announced on Monday that she's expecting her first child and will take an extended break from professional tennis. The 31-year-old, currently ranked 79th, added that she would be setting aside her career temporarily to focus on her new family life, as she's expecting a baby boy in April of 2026. Jabeur, who has won 5 WTA singles titles during her career, had been open about her struggles with depression amid a demanding tour schedule, and her announcement also comes amid ongoing concerns over a strenuous tennis calendar. Well, that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, remember to please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Alternatively, call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update for the afternoon in the next hour. The time has just gone 15:38 p.m. Central African Time for Channel Africa Sport. I am Mosito Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené à dire ça? Est-ce que vous avez observé un certain nombre d'événements dans la vie? Est-ce que c'était par rapport à une expérience? Est-ce que vous avez rencontré des choses qui vous ont dit il faut de la patience, comme ça les choses vont venir au bon moment et les bons dieux pourra peut-être me visiter?
Oui, c'était justement un conseil que le Seigneur m'avait inspiré pour donner à son peuple, parce qu'il y a la plupart des gens, pendant que Dieu bénit les autres, ils pensent que Dieu les a oubliés, et pendant que Dieu ouvre pour les autres, ils pensent que peut-être Dieu n'a pas pu écouter leurs prières. Alors, ce n'est pas le cas. Alors, Dieu bénit tout un chacun de nous avec son temps. Donc, le temps de Dieu est toujours le meilleur dans la vie de tout un chacun de nous.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h, temps universel.
It's after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the final business news this afternoon on the upside with Chanduko Likeke.
Ready to connect, innovate, and be inspired? It's all happening at Africa's Tech Festival, where Africa's technology meets the world. From the 10th to the 13th of November in Cape Town, join global leaders, investors, and innovators driving the future of Africa's digital economy. Don't miss the continent's biggest week in tech. Get your pass now at africatechfestival.com.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. Zambia and Israel have reaffirmed their commitment to enhance existing bilateral relations. President Isaac Herzog met his Zambian counterpart Hakainde Hichilema on Monday in Lusaka, becoming the first Israeli president to visit the southern African country. Among other things, the two discussed ways to strengthen collaboration in agriculture, technology, trade, and investment. President Hichilema explains.
So we want to move very, very rapidly in putting close to 500,000 hectares of our land under irrigation, and our cooperation means a lot in this area, so we can have food security, not just for ourselves, but for the region as well.
An economist has pointed out that while the latest decrease in the rate of unemployment is a positive sign, unemployment remains unsustainably high in South Africa. The comments follow the release of Stats SA's quarterly labor force survey. It shows that the country's official unemployment rate eased by 1.3% from 33.2% in the second quarter to 31.9% in the third quarter of 2025. The data indicates that 248,000 increase in the number of employed persons to 17.1 million, while the number of unemployed persons decreased by 360,000 to 8 million. David Root is the chief economist at Efficient Group.
There were a number of definitional changes, and there were also changes in terms of the size of the workforce. So there's a lot of statistical changes that happened in the data. Looking through all of that, it seems to me as if the unemployment rate in South Africa has stabilized and there's a slight improvement. And I think that also resonates with some recent economic data suggesting that the South African economy is growing a little bit stronger than what we've expected. Having said that, the unemployment rate of close to 32% is still dangerously high. We need much, much stronger economic growth to improve on that.
An informal trader in Polokwane in South Africa's Limpopo province says he has stopped paying attention to the budget speech as it does not improve informal business. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana will table his medium-term budget policy statement tomorrow. An informal trader near Polokwane Hospital believes that the budget overlooks the plight of hawkers.
At this present moment, I don't really believe that the government is spending money wisely, because our stalls, we are having some stalls here, and then we are paying the municipality rent, their rates every month, but they are doing nothing. The only thing they do is just to receive the cash from us. I mean, we don't have toilets. I mean, we have nothing here. And we're saving the people. At the hospital, we have almost maybe more than 25 years selling in front of this hospital, Petersburg Hospital. But there is no improvement of services from the municipality.
South Africa's Cape Town International Airport has reached a major milestone in welcoming its 1 millionth passenger last month ahead of the peak season. AXA says the achievement, usually seen only during the busy December period, signals an early and strong start to the peak travel season. AXA Group spokesperson Ufenze Dijwe says the focus remains on delivering efficient, safe and welcoming airport services.
The terminal is alive with travelers and there's a real sense of excitement as we see more people taking to the skies earlier than usual this year. We're grateful to our airport partners, airlines, and ground teams for their dedication, and to our passengers for their patience and support as we manage record numbers within our current facilities. We look forward to welcoming every traveler passing through Cape Town International Airport this season, and thank you for being part of this remarkable milestone.
Microsoft plans to invest $10 billion in artificial intelligence infrastructure at a data center in Portugal's port city of Sines over the next few years, marking one of the largest AI investment projects in Europe. The technology giant will work in partnership with developers, Start Campus, AI infrastructure platform NScale, and chipmaker NVIDIA to deploy 12,600 next-generation NVIDIA graphics processing units in Sines, which is 150 kilometers south of Lisbon. Now let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is at 1,000 naira 435. In Botswana, 13 pula 26. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 35. Zambia, 22 kwacha 61. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 trill 32. Russia, 80 rubles 86. India, 88 rupees 68. China, 71.12. South Africa, 17 rand 20 cents. $1 is 76 pence to the British pound, 86 to the euro. Commodities: gold is trading at $4,137, platinum at $1,589 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $64.50 a barrel. That's all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chandruko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Global leaders, African insights. Follow the G20 summit with Channel Africa as it happens.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV, ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay locked right here.
Thank you for staying with us here on The Upside. We are looking forward to the upcoming, almost said rendition, oh my goodness, so weird. The upcoming edition of Africa in Business with Tami Ngubeni. Off air, we were actually talking Burgernomics.
Burgernomics, oh,
yeah,
I like that.
We were talking Burgernomics.
Yes.
I remember I used to work for a youth radio station 75 years ago called YFM.
Actually, 75 years.
And they had...
She also has 12 kids,
As
apparently.
if, right. and she's a great-grandmother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and I love my grandchildren.
Your great-grandchildren.
Burgernomics was actually a thing. It was part of the news bulletins. At the tail end of the bulletin, when they do a rand against the dollar, a Big Mac. It was called Burgernomics. A burger will cost you this much in New York City. It will cost you this much in Paris. It will cost you this much in Johannesburg. So we were talking about the politics of burgers, or rather the economics of burgers, and looking at the price of the very popular, you will know which franchise this is from, Big Mac, and you know how expensive it's become. I mean, back in the day it was like $20, and now people are spending over 100 rand. So Burgernomics is quite a thing, hey?
But a burger is not a burger in the sense that, I mean, you know that there are places where you can get a burger for an equivalent of 2,000 rand.
Yes.
Yep. So I guess the only way to have a credible comparison, if you're going to use the same franchise, so if you're going to use the same franchise, how much would that particular burger from that particular franchise cost in a particular country? Pretty much like how you'd measure what the price of white bread is or brown bread is,
right,
around the world. So the measure really has to be standard. But talking about all those things finance, we are expecting the medium-term budget policy statement coming out tomorrow, and economists are hoping to get a bit more clarity, and one of those is National Treasury in support of the South African Reserve Bank's position of bringing inflation on the lower target of 3%. We'll be getting into that this afternoon with Casey Sprake, who's an economist at Anchor Capital. And also, that infrastructure financing on the African continent has been a huge priority. It's a buzz phrase. And in the midst of dwindling international finance, where is Africa going to look to in order to finance its infrastructure? Well, at the moment, there's a 3-day All-Africa Pension Summit that's taking place in Uganda. And one of the proposals that has been made is for African economies to pull their pension funds together in order to fund infrastructure development on the continent, especially considering that there's how many trillions? Like 11 trillion rand or so, $11 trillion financial deficit in development annually. So we'll be looking at that and some of the outcomes of the summit in Uganda.
Okay. Oh, that's quite a project. Talk about funding being yanked from underneath us, and we really are starting to think.
It's about time.
We really are reproducing ourselves economically in the most epic ways, which really gives us hope. It gives me hope.
I mean, yesterday we were talking about the IMF and the funding and the terms that are tied to that funding, and how Africa is very much in such a debt burden that you don't need war in the physical sense. You don't need bombs, you don't need rifles. You just really need a country to be heavily indebted to you, and then the country gives its assets, national assets, as collateral. And when you no longer are able to settle that debt, then obviously those international funding bodies come in and knock and they take what is then rightfully theirs, because you ceded that as your collateral. And so it's very prudent for us to be mindful of that. It could be another way of colonization. It could be another way of waging war, but it's an economic war that has been waged as opposed to war with guns, etc.
Africa in Business coming up next with the Queen of Africa in Business, Tami Ngubeni. And I love the fact that we've come to a place where, as Africa, we're saying we're no longer exporting raw materials. It must be processed within the country. It must benefit the country before. And we set the terms on how much it trades for and so on and so forth. And I think we're on the right track in that
Rise, Africa, rise.
Rise, Africa, rise.
The Africa story continues.
Love it. It's 7 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. On the other side of this, Mmatsheko and I go up against one another in our upside.
Give me a
Spelling
burger or
bee.
something.
With gratitude for the voices, the rhythm, and the dreams that unite us all.
Roho ya Afrika inaishi katika kila hadithi tunayosimulia.
Each new day is a gift, a reminder to pause, to breathe, and to give thanks for the laughter we share and the journeys we take and the stories that shape who we are.
Cada nascer do sol lhe lembre de algo pelo qual ser grato.
La vie est un voyage, parcourons-la avec gratitude.
Channel Africa. Celebrate the beauty of life with gratitude for the voices, the rhythms, and the dreams that unite us all. This is Africa with Channel Africa, the African perspective. Stay tuned to Channel Africa. Stream us on our new and updated website, channelafrica.co.za. Where Africa's voices rise with stories that matter, we lead the conversation.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
6 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time, it's time for the Upside Spelling Bee. And we've roped in...
You sound excited.
Well, I have to be. It's one of those things, project positivity and you'll do well. I'm projecting it because the last time I was very tentative. I was very, is not make sure. And the word that you gave me almost gave me a beating, okay? I'm still trying to recover from handkerchief that other day. I'm still recovering from that. So I'll produce...
Who can spell handkerchief? No one can spell that.
Thank you very much.
It's too difficult.
Thank you very much. Our producer extraordinaire, Nombuyiselo Tango, is in the building. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Okay. I think from this point on, we should keep a tally of the whole week who got it right.
Oh, that's going to be very easy to tally, darling. Very simple.
Oh, stop that.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Mmatsheko. Cool? Okay, so the word of today is repertoire. Oh, we're not starting with you.
Repertoire.
Yeah. You've actually used this word.
No, I use very big words. I just don't know how to spell
You actually
them.
do.
I don't know how to spell them. I get paid to speak in my defense.
Not to spell.
Okay,
Your
all
Honor.
right. So are you going to try?
No, I absolutely am not going to try to spell repertoire.
Okay.
All right.
Tebogo?
Oh, must I try?
Yes.
Repertoire.
You got to dig into your French dictionary a little bit also.
Thank you very much. R-E-P rep rep and rep R-E-P A-T-O-I-R-E.
I'm going to ask you to say it again because you stopped yourself from finishing a letter, so I'm not sure if you're saying that particular letter or not.
Okay. Rep, R-E-P, rep, E-T-O-I-R-E.
So close, yet so far.
Wow.
So repertoire is a collection of skills or works someone can perform. So the so close yet so far, that particular letter that you said was correct. So it's R-E-P-E-R-T-O-I-R-E. Short of one letter that you almost said actually.
All right, almost.
Okay. Seko? Pseudonym.
Pseudonym. S.
Let me just help you. Don't start with S. Silent.
Oh. P. 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 H.
Don't allow him to distract you.
PS.
Yes.
PS. EU. D. NY. MN.
So, also now is so close
Aye.
yet so far.
Mm.
So the meaning is a fictitious name used by an author. So you just added an extra and removed the right one.
Okay.
That's your problem. So it's PSEUDONYM. So you didn't say the O. And you added an N at the end. So
Why
close.
would I
yet
do
so
that?
far.
High five. Welcome to the Losers Club.
We're not high-fiving that.
Well,
We're winners here.
Clearly, we didn't get any points today. All right, we didn't get any points today. Let us know if you got it. If you got the answers correct this afternoon. If you got both of them correct, drop us a comment there on our TikTok live at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Pseudonym and repertoire. Those are words, our stumbling blocks for today. Can you believe? Now I'm struggling with buttons and everything.
It's rough. What's spelling?
Let's wrap up the show because we had a fantastic show.
We
Despite that, we don't count that anymore. That's fine. We had a fantastic show. Great conversations. Yes.
Listen, we had great conversations. We enjoyed talking about The Call, which is a queer production, African production, might I add, that's going to be on a stage near you. What else did we speak about? We spoke about financial literacy for children. Thanks to Alex Forbes for putting together a book that is available for free. And
micro locks.
Oh, we spoke about hair. Yes. We spoke about hair.
Yes, micro. Are you going to consider micro locks yourself?
No, absolutely not.
No, but you said it's going to last like forever. Like basically, then you just have to maintain it every couple of months or something like that.
No, I will braid my hair.
You want to braid it?
Yes.
All right. But also, is it
like
because
Miriam Makeba?
Is it because of the price point? You had the 8,000. What?
I just want to channel Miriam Makeba till I die.
Okay. All right, Queen. I see you. Upsiders, thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Let's do this again tomorrow, same time, same place. From us and the Upside team, we say goodbye and thank you. Africa in Business is coming up next with the Queen of Africa in Business, that is Tami Ngubeni. From us, we say bye-bye.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Business, trade, and investment opportunities that put the continent first. Africa in Business with Tami Ngubeni.